All right, all right, all right. Wait for everybody to get in here. Bobby Skinner says, "Are we live? Are 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 we live?" I want to make sure that the ads run. Everybody can get in here. Everybody can watch their ads, and we can have a great time. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Still not convinced that the ads have run on YouTube. Still not convinced. Still not convinced. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? This game means so much. Giants playoff chances are on the line. Eagles division on the line. The stakes couldn't be higher. They couldn't be higher for today's game. So much is on the line. Dable's job on the line. Daniel Jones' future on the line today. They win, and no, none of that matters. None of it matters. None of it matters. Still, let's win some games. Bobby Skinner is going to be late. I wanted to go live at 11:15, and I don't want to keep people waiting because the chat would have panicked. Davis Webb, if you didn't hear, Davis Webb will be starting at quarterback. I don't know if I have the biggest reaction to that versus Tyrod Taylor starting. I don't know if I have the biggest reaction to it just simply because this game doesn't matter. And also I hate having backup QB conversations. But man, what a fever dream. What a fever dream. If you're waking up from a coma from 2013, 2014, and Davis and you went to a coma 2013, 2014. Or no, when was Davis Webb drafted? You went into a coma in 2016, right? Because Eli was not good 2016. He had Odell Beckham Jr. He went into a coma 2016. You wake up today, Davis Webb is starting. You're like, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. But I also don't really fully care about like the whole backup QB thing. I don't think backup QBs really matter because I think when your number one QB goes down, I think your season's over. Like there's no recovery. I mean, it's happened twice in it. The Jeff Hostetler, Nick Foles thing has happened twice in NFL history, and that's it. So, who do I think is going to play? Who do you think is going to be the playmaker today? Matt Breida. Yeah, that's who Matt B is. I hope Jarrad Davis makes some plays. Bobby Skinner is going to come here and talk a lot about the Mike linebacker. If there's one spot that I want to see make plays today that could have an impact on the future, it's Mike linebacker. That's who I want to see make play. I also want Kenny Golladay to make all the plays in the world today. Thank you, Nico. Nico, did you ever message me on Twitter or Instagram? I don't think I got anything. I've been looking out. I owe you a shirt. So thank you for the super chat, Davis Webb season. Let's do it. Let's do it. My one goal for the season was to find the right coach in the GM. I think we accomplished that. We did. I was being sarcastic in my loud yelling, screaming opening, by the way. I was being extremely sarcastic. This is actually good for Davis. So this is the one take that I do have that I do think part of me thinks that Brian Daboll, not Mike Kafka, but Brian Daboll is really doing this kind of as a favor to Davis Webb. I honestly thought that Davis Webb was going to take up a spot on the 53-man roster. And the story that Dan Duggan told it to me, and then I was telling it all summer, was that Davis Webb was offered the Buffalo Bills QB coach job. What is he, like 27? You know, Davis Webb is like still super young. I don't even think he's 30 yet. He was offered the Bills QB coach job, which if you're offered a QB coach job that young, you're like on this Sean McVay kind of path. So Davis Webb was offered the opportunity to be on this like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan kind of coaching path to become, possibly a head coach super young. And he said no, because he wanted to continue to play football. So he signed with the Giants. I'm thinking he's going to be on the main 53-man roster because just financially, declining a QB coach job And then going to another team, I'm thinking, okay, just salary wise, I think the Giants would do him right by keeping him on the main 53-man roster. No, he's been on a practice squad all year. And then I think, the report is that Miami was trying to poach him from the Giants practice squad since they have 2 quarterbacks out. They also just got Mike Glennon. What world are we living in? The Miami tried to poach Davis Webb off our practice squad. So then the Giants signed him to the main 53, not only signed him to the 53-man roster, but he's getting the start this Sunday, which has me thinking, like, what's the point of Tyrod Taylor? But again, I don't really fully care. We weren't thinking about Davis Webb 2 days ago. So that's where it doesn't make a lot of super sense. Just found out the game is at 4:25. Yeah, man, Joey. Game's at 4:25, man. I like that we get to watch the 1:00 games, but also, then we record late and we're up late. So that kind of sucks. I really want to. I would have rather traded not seeing the 1 p.m. games to see the full Sunday Night Football game, just from our standpoint, because we record and stuff like that. Yes, rooting for those Niners today. They're playing the Cardinals. Cardinals are bad. They're on speaking of teams like the Dolphins that are on their 3rd, 4th string quarterbacks. So are the Cardinals. So Niners pull out that win against the bad Cardinals team, and we're playing those Minnesota Vikings. The next round. Will Kenny G get a touchdown today? I hope so. I hope so. I hope he just has a good game, because really this is the last opportunity. Kenny Galladay's not on the team next year. This is the last opportunity that Kenny Galladay is going to have to do anything in a Giants uniform. So why not make it today? Why not make it in an irrelevant game? Bobby Skinner.
What's going on?
Bobby Skinner has joined us.
What's going on? How's everybody doing? A little late.
Can you imagine just watching the Giants on Sunday and not following them from Monday to Saturday and then turning on the game today?
Oh, Eagles fan. It's the Davis Webb game. I mean, it's bam, bam, bam. Are we live? People are asking. We are live. It's the Davis Webb game. So I know you've probably been talking about it with the chat.
Yeah.
So I asked around, because I was like, what's going, why is Davis Webb?
This was not a thought 2 days ago. That's what I just said. Nobody was thinking this 2 days ago.
No. When everyone was trying to oh, well, this makes sense. It's well, how come not a single person had this opinion 2 days ago if it makes so much sense?
Did we hear the beat reporter give the line? This was coming. We saw this coming.
Yo, I'm surprised. I'm sure they have. I haven't been super online the last.
Yeah, I haven't been online a lot yesterday.
So I'm sure, but I guess I don't know. Well, you know how Webb was kind of promised a roster spot, and then
that's what I was just talking about. I kind of think they're doing this as a favor to him.
Yeah, I think they are. It's just such a weird dynamic, though. It's such a weird dynamic that it's
because they're paying Tyrod a lot of money.
Has to be pissed. There's no way that Tyrod Taylor is super happy about.
They're paying Tyrod a lot of. I mean, they're paying him more money next year.
Idea, because I saw, you know how it is whenever something doesn't make a ton of sense, people try and make it make sense. Well, we got to get an evaluation on Davis Webb to see if he can be the backup next year. It was the Giants wouldn't save any money by cutting Tyrod Taylor.
No.
And I don't think a Tyrod Taylor trade is happening at this point in his career, especially with that cap hit. Maybe if he had a $1-2 million cap hit, he's going to be a $6 million cap hit next year. So
yeah, if anything, if you wanted to trade Tyrod Taylor, you would play him today with the hope that it could be a Matt Flynn game. But they're not thinking that. They're not.
Yeah. So it's really them doing a solid to Davis Webb, which is nice for Davis Webb. And honestly, it's going to be funnier to watch Davis Webb today than it would be Tyrod Taylor. It's kind of we finally it's going to be the Davis Webb game. It'll be forever remembered as the Davis Webb game.
This is the only opportunity he'll get in his NFL career to start a game.
Yeah. So it's just kind of but here's where I do push back on a little bit, and it's hard to push back on too much because when you're resting the starters, it doesn't matter all that much. But it is kind of a somewhat of a weird message. It's okay, we're doing our buddy a solid here. When it's I guarantee you, everyone on the locker room wants, Tyrod Taylor to play. Besides, maybe David Sills.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's an interesting. It's an interesting thought. I don't know if you can kind of go back on Like we're so far into the year where if they did this like me, if they did this in the beginning of the year where Daniel Jones gets hurt and then they elevate Davis Webb to start, which they would never do. But
No.
But that is an interesting thought.
And the idea is like, oh well, we gotta protect like let me see. Like starting Webb to ensure Taylor is healthy as a backup for the playoff, just in case. Well, like we have other practice squad players we could elevate and have other starters we could put on the bench, but there's going to be starters who are going to have to play today. So the backup quarterback, like he is very low. He's probably dead last on my priorities of keeping healthy for the playoff game.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if he's playing, it sucks anyways.
I think if you're and I said this to start. I said I don't really care about
like rest Richie James and elevate Khalil Pimpleton. That's a much more we need to keep this guy healthy for the playoffs type guy.
Yeah, I don't care about backup quarterback because I think if your QB1 goes down, I think your season's over. So
yep, unless you are a roster like the Eagles or something, I don't think you should invest a ton. And the idea, well, Tyrod Taylor's super injury prone. It's like, well, then why did we pay Tyrod Taylor all this
correct.
money?
Why?
Why did we make him one of the highest paid backup quarterbacks in the NFL?
Right. All right, Bobby, this is what I want to, I want to hear about, because if there's one substantial evaluation that we actually can get from this game besides is Davis Webb the future QB3 of the world, Gerard Davis, and who can step up in the linebacker room, who maybe hasn't stepped up in the past.
Yeah, Davis is like who Giants fans should be gluing their eyes to today. Because okay, because he can play his way into a starting position for a playoff game today. He really can. Whether it's taking Micah McFadden's spot or if it's taking Jalen Smith's. Well, they're not going to take Jalen Smith's spot at this point. Let's be real. But he could take Micah McFadden's spot, and he's a much better athlete, stronger. Like he's much better suited to play linebacker in the NFL than Micah McFadden, right? So he's a former first-round pick for a reason. He hasn't figured out how to put it together at linebacker, but he is what you want for that will linebacker. Athleticism profile in today's game. So yeah, my eyes are glued to him. Another guy my eyes are gonna be glued to are Wyatt Davis, because I just wanted to get an evaluation on him going into camp.
He's starting?
I think he's gonna play it today.
Okay.
Maybe start, but I do think he's gonna play.
Did they sign him to the 53 or is he a practice squad elevation?
53, because remember we had to cut Myrick to get him on the roster.
Wait, we talked about us cutting Chris Myrick, but I saw something that he played that weekend.
Yeah, they did practice squad elevation.
Okay, got it. Practice squad elevation. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was going crazy.
They basically cut the guy that they knew they could probably sneak through the waiver wire.
Yeah,
even though Chris Myrick, you could see a team being like, "Here, come play H-back for us."
The Bengals last year.
Let's see.
What else is there to talk about? There's nothing to talk about. We're going to be on WFAN at 1:20. If you want to,
I figured we could do our tiebreaker picks at the end of the show.
Yeah, I didn't submit that, so we'll.
So we can do that at the end of the show.
All right. Yeah, we'll be on WFAN with Sean Marash at 1:20. I really
think of the lie I should tell, because
he said
I can't. He said I can't say that I'm going to kill Danny King.
No, kill is a strong word. I even talked with our PR guy at John Boy Media. And I was like, "Do you suggest we do this?" He's like, "No."
Well, you can't ask him that. Of course, he's going to say no.
Well, I mean, what am I going to ask? Who am I going to ask? Kevin of the Socials team? He'd say,
"Don't ask anybody." That's what. What do you mean? We're talking. We don't ask permissions to make jokes.
We're trying to not get canceled during an irrelevant week of the Eagles season, but when you actually make it to the playoffs.
That makes me look really bad when you're asking them if Bobby can say he's going to kill Danny King on radio.
Well, I said it was a joke. I didn't say seriously.
Yeah, well, it's not like we're going on with Boomer and Gio for the first time through our PR agency. We're going on
Boomer would appreciate that.
Sean's our friend.
I think Boomer would appreciate that.
So I'm probably just going to tell some type of trailer park boys lie. I'll figure it out.
Think of an episode.
Yeah, just so this happened to me the other day.
You love lying on radio, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's a great art. Here's something I was thinking about the other day, with Will Levis, because my friend, he's a Raiders fan, he wants Will Levis, and the whole mayonnaise, he puts mayo in his coffee, supposedly.
Very weird.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's lying about that. Like, he's just messing with them. I'm almost 100% confident. I don't have that on any inside info that like he's just messing with the media, saying that he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. It just like it would.
It's something you
doesn't
would
work.
do.
Yeah,
is it like the squeezable?
It's not. It's a lot. He's lying. He's lying.
You
Yeah,
mixed it?
he's messing with the media.
I'm a really big fan of stale popcorn.
Yeah, that's different than putting mayonnaise in your coffee.
I went to the movies last night. This popcorn has been sitting on my dresser.
Don't do that on
overnight.
live camera.
No, well, I'm just going to tell you how good it is. So awesome. Keep your popcorn out overnight and then eat it.
Let's see.
That's good. Do you see Derek Carr as an upgrade over Daniel Jones?
Did you see Brett Coleman say that?
No.
Brett Coleman, I guess he's making the self-worth to be like, I will not lie to you, Giants fans. Like, okay, dude, just make the video.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand being like, hey, like, I don't know if you should invest a ton in Daniel Jones, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I get it if you're one of those boomer bust type people where it's like you don't want to, be in the middle ground. And then he's like, and then someone's like, I would take Derek Carr. I think he would help them a ton. And he's like, I agree. I was like, oh, okay. So this is actually just a bad opinion. This is not differences of philosophies. Let's see. All right, let's get some Giants questions in here. I know we got.
What is there to talk about? What is there to talk about?
Yeah, we got to talk about the Giants, guys.
What are your game day snacks?
In a few days.
You don't eat.
What do you mean?
What are your game day snacks? And I'm like, you don't eat game days.
No, I eat something very small before the game, and then once we're done recording and stuff, I'll have dinner.
If we're like winning, I may not eat a lot, but if we're losing, like today, it doesn't matter. I won't be an emotional eater today. But if we're losing, that's where the food will come out. I will just go ape shit.
Do the Giants get an advantage for resting players while the Vikings play there? I really think it's pretty simple. I think people overcomplicate this. It's like the Giants are thin and they don't want to injure their players. Like it's like I think it's pretty simple.
It's an advantage of the starters weren't taking a vacation this week like a bye week, so they're basically just they were still at practice, still prepping for a game, and then they're not playing on Sunday where you can get hurt. That's the advantage.
Yeah, it's not like a bye week where they just have time off.
Yeah.
This is actually a good question. Who will be the MVP of our playoff run? Who is the player that we're going to come away from the playoffs and be like, man, that guy showed up? Even if it's a one-game loss where we lose by 15 points. I don't know why, man, but I think it's going to be – actually, I do know why. I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. Like, I don't know what happens in this playoff run, but I think we're going to come out of this playoffs game with more respect for Daniel Jones. I really do. Because one, he's the quarterback, so he's gonna it's front and center. So like when we do our voting for awards at the end of the year, Daniel Jones isn't going to be my vote for most outstanding player on offense, but like Andrew Thomas would be.
Yeah.
But it's like we're not going to come away from the playoff game being like Andrew Thomas. It's like we kind of
wow.
I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. Hopefully, some people are saying Kayvon. I would love for it to be Kayvon though. I would love for it to be Kayvon.
Who has been more impactful? I mean, Azeez Ojulari has been more impactful in the games that Azeez and Kayvon have both played in.
Kayvon's been the third best pass rusher on the team behind Azeez and Dex. Yeah. Kayvon is just Kayvon's a star. Like Kayvon is just like his the 5th overall pick, his persona. Like he has like the star effect.
But I think Azeez would be the one to just be. He has been more impactful. So I could see teams really trying to we got to stop Dexter Lawrence, and I could see Azeez being the one to.
He got a sack on Christian Darrisaw. Like his skill set worked well against a guy like Christian Darrisaw.
Yeah.
The Vikings right tackle will be out. So yeah, I think that's actually a good one where people around the league, you know how it is. It's like you don't watch every team, but everyone watches the playoffs. So a lot of people's opinions are formed off the playoffs. I think Azeez is actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah. Justin Tuck had very good postseasons. I don't know why I just thought. If you look at Justin Tuck and Leonard Marshall's postseason careers, They're very, very similar to each other. So yes, I would like Aziz to join them. That'd be
That's
great.
where I think it just play strength just shows up in the playoffs, and Justin Tuck is one of those dudes.
Well, Gary Brightwell.
I think people are going to finally see what Gary Brightwell looks like with a full load of carries.
This true potential.
Gary Brightwell is not a good back.
No.
I think people will see that today. Or hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully he does look good today. Hopefully not too good for. By the way, after last night's games, you are tied with the listeners in spread picks.
What? Oh well, I had Raiders. I really thought the Raiders were going to cover.
They went 2-0. You went 0-2. I went 1-1.
Oh, the Titans covered. Titans covered, even though they lost.
Yeah, they lost by 4. That game last night, for that last drive, I think they should have went Malik Willis and just RPO'd to death. RPO read option. Because Dobbs is not doing anything. Or let him go out there and scramble or something.
Did you go 2-0?
I went 1-1. So the listeners could have a sneaky comeback in the spread picks if.
All right, but I'm only one game behind you.
Correct. But so
the listeners. So the listeners could win.
Yes, the listeners could win.
Wow. That'd be quite.
Let's look. The listeners and me disagree on 1, 2. The listeners and me only disagree on 2 games, so they'd have to go 2-0 in those games. So we'll see. We'll see at the end of the day. So, but we're gonna do the tiebreak. The last 5 minutes of this, we'll do the tiebreaker games. Yeah, and we'll summon the chat to represent the listeners.
Love it.
Just in case.
Love it.
So, and what we'll do is we'll just add those games to the record at the end.
Got it.
If we need that. If not, not. Well, what deals are you guys giving out this offseason to retain players and one player from free agency you sign? I don't know all the questions. Here's something. I've seen people talk about Julian Love at like 10 mil. Would you resign Julian Love at a 10 mil average annual value?
If that's what he's worth, then do it. They have the money. The cap's expanding. I think at this point, it's not like we're talking about bringing back Landon Collins for the most expensive safety contract of all time. But I think the Giants need to start making it a priority that if there's valuable starters that they draft, bring them back.
Let me look at the average annual value for some safeties around the league. Because that's one where the 16th Armani Hooker, it'd be the Armani Hooker deal then, like a 3-year, 30 mil. Like that's more than Jordan Poyer, Michael. I know those guys are due up for free agency in the next couple of years, or this year for some of them. I don't know. I just think like I would rather go spend an extra $5-6 million and get Jordan Poyer or Micah Hyde. You know?
Yeah. Was a Hooker? Was he a free agency deal? Did he come from another team, or was he already on that team?
He just signed.
Because I feel like that matters.
I really butchered that first name. Hopefully, nope.
Love is valued at $8 million a year. I'm fine with that. I think the Giants need to start. The Giants have.
I agree, but they've got a nice crop of guys they can resign of their own. It's not like years past where there's nobody to resign of their
own. Right.
We got Thomas, Dex, DJ, Saquon possibly. We'll talk about that in the offseason. They got a crop of their own guys that they're going to get deals with done with. Even McKinney if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
So. All right. We'll go for. Let's get a couple more questions in, and then we'll do our tiebreaker spread picks.
No.
Yeah. By the way, all the O'Shane Ximines love for getting a sack off of a Leonard Williams play in the second game of the year. The dude has done nothing.
He's been terrible.
When is the last time O'Shane Ximines' name has been said? When the sack on the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
I said it last week because on the play that Nick Foles had 5 seconds in the pocket on the 60-yard play, I think O'Shane Ximines was there, and he just could not beat his guy. Like
he's been
he
playing
just,
a lot of snaps, like too. Like it's not like he's been like, it's like, oh, Kayvon and Aziz, but like no, he's been 31, 28, 6, 17, 36, 45, 34, 4. He's been playing a lot, and he has one QB hit in the last 8 games.
and I'm convinced that Quincy Roche would be better.
Oh yes, Quincy Roche would be better. No, but at this point, it just is what it is. I'm not gonna, us. We try to not cry over spoiled milk.
No, we did cry over it, and people said that we were wrong, and I just need people to know that we were right.
Let's see. Let's compare. I'm gonna compare Quincy Roche's rookie season. He played 401 snaps.
Okay. O'Shane get 200 this year?
He had 2.5 sacks, 38 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 5 QB hits. O'Shane's had some good QB hits this year, but he's also been a pass rusher friendly system.
Right. Untouched hits, untouched pressures.
And so O'Shane has played more snaps this year. He has 2 sacks.
O'Shane's played more snaps than Quincy Roche last year?
Yeah. So he has half a sack less, 16 tackles less, 3 QB hits more, 2 tackles for a loss less. And the Wink Martindale system like breeds quarterback hits.
Good word, breeds. Ooh.
Just saying. And Quincy Roche made like a game-changing play in the one game he played in 2 snaps versus the Jaguars. So
Jaguars and what were the 2 sacks? The Packers and Jaguars?
For O'Shane?
Yeah, you're saying Quincy Roche. Yes.
Yeah. No, his O'Shane's 2 sacks were the one on Akim Ekwonu in week 2, and then the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
Got it. This is what we care about at Talking Giants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will. Like it's like people will bring up like, oh, remember you guys got mad about Ryan Conley? I was like, yes. Do you remember Devontae Downs playing linebacker? Yes, I very much do remember being mad about that, and I still am. Even if it doesn't affect the team long term, I care. Sorry, I care about the Giants.
Congratulations to Art Stapleton.
He that shirt's going to be at his house this week. A trophy, and a Dunkin' Donuts gift card with Kadarius Toney's. I got a little mad. I almost, what? I had to stop saying a certain thing on Instagram when you first joined Talking Giants. I got close to doing it again.
What did you say? What did you say?
I can't say it. But someone was like, because we did the Tony Award video, and someone was like, "Oh my gosh, will you guys stop posting about Kadarius Toney?" I just told him to suck my dick, but I want to tell him other things.
Yeah, so I said to stop saying that.
He's like, and he did the like, "Oh, this is John Boy Media. This is below the." I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "We are the number 3 show in John Boy Media. Suck my dick. Suck my dick."
It's true.
All right. Let's do the picks for this.
All right, spread picks.
These will not count against the record unless there is a tie for first place. So if there's a tie for second place, but if there's a tie for first place in the spread picks, this is what we're gonna do. We got Texans at Colt, and the listeners. The first one to comment will represent the listener. So we got and you can't just say the team. You have to say the team plus the spread. So plus 2.5, minus 2.5, whatever. Texans at Colts minus 2.5. Who do you got in this one, Justin?
Texans at Colts. The game everyone will be watching. Give me the Texans. Lovie Smith.
Me too. Damn it. I have the Texans too. I think they're going to win this stupid game. Like,
it is a
2 teams that are tanking. Oh my gosh. Danny took the Texans too. What did the chat say?
I see
Ben Feinstein, Texans plus 2.5.
Yeah, Texans, Ben.
Wow. Clean sweep for the Texans. Okay, next game we have is...
Can't wait for Jeff Saturday to pull it out.
Bucks at Falcons minus 4. I'm going Falcons minus 4 on this one.
Falcons minus... Are the Bucks sitting starters?
I don't know, but they might be. And the Bucks aren't good, and so the Bucks not caring because nothing matters with them. I'm taking the Falcons.
I'm gonna go Bucks. And I see the first thing from Adam Adam says Bucks -4.
Okay.
No, that's not right. No, it is right.
Well, no, it
would be Bucks +4.
So yeah, did someone say Bucks? Yeah, so you can't count that. Did someone say Bucks +4?
Snick,
okay. Snickety.
Snickety. Bucks +4.
Panthers at Saints -3.5. What do you got on this one, Justin?
Panthers.
Man, I kind of
play for Steve
the Panthers
Wilkes.
are going to do it for Wilkes. The Panthers are going to do it for Wilkes. What did the chat say?
And they're not going to keep him. I see Saints, but it doesn't have plus or minus.
Got to have the spread.
Saints -3, playoff P.
I saw Russell Dunkman. Yeah, Russell Dunkman had it first.
Oh, there we go.
And it was 3.5 too. So, all right. So clean sweep for the Panthers. All right. Next game we have is Vikings at Bears +6.
Give me those Bears.
Yeah, okay. I'll go Vikings then.
Give me those Bears. Stop Bears.
What did the chat have? Keith Ritter. Danny had Vikings.
Nope, not Keith.
Just pop it up on the screen. We should do that.
Karen.
So we got Bears. Okay. Next game we have is Cardinals at 49ers -14.
Oh,
who are the Cardinals even starting at quarterback? We did this on the show a couple weeks ago. David Blau. I think David Blau is starting at quarterback for them. 49ers looking to clinch the second seed, but they had a hard time. But I'm going to go 49ers.
What is this, Matt? 49ers or Cardinals?
Cardinals at 49ers -14.
It's a big spread. Give me the Cardinals. This doesn't count. It's for a tiebreaker. We got to take swings.
And then the last one is and I'm seeing something in our chat I want to talk about after this too. Chargers at Broncos -3. Why are the Broncos favored in that? Like the Chargers are actually playing for seeding. I don't get it.
Chargers?
Yeah, I'm just going to take Chargers because they must know that they're resting starters, but what did Danny go? Danny went Broncos. Wow.
Oh, nope. That's the wrong one. Hold on. Spelling error, but it counts.
Keith Ritter. Is Keith Ritter, are you the one that I called an asshole on Instagram messages?
Keith has been commenting. Keith has been on it.
There was someone who said something to me about...
Not Keith.
Oh, I thought when Tate Crowder got signed by the Steelers, I made an Instagram story like, hey, appreciate you, good luck, Yeah. It's like, why are you wishing this guy luck? And I was like, you're just an asshole, man. Like, we didn't say this guy's an all-star. We're just wishing him luck where he went. The guy went for Mr. Irrelevant. So, no, Keith. Oh, so Keith is not.
Keith would never.
So, Keith, we love you, Keith. Here's the thing before we go. So maybe we should save this for the show. The iRacing thing. Is that a show thing?
It's a show thing, and I gotta ask when we can put it out, and then we'll put it out and we'll hype it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm actually like really excited for that.
Yeah.
My buddy, I'll pay the guy if he wins races for us. Like,
my buddy Noodles.
Like I will be like the trashers where it's like you get a top 5 finish, man. Like, you wreck somebody on that track, $5. Like I will.
He's a clean racer. He's a very, very clean racer. But we're gonna be sponsoring an iRacing car, and it'll be streamed on YouTube. So we'll let everybody know. We'll tweet it out and everything like that whenever the car is going to be on the track. And every once in a while, I'll pop in and say, "Show the Talking Giants car. Show the Talking Giants car," and you'll give them no choice but to show the Talking Giants car on the track.
Yeah, I'm like really excited for that. All right, we'll see you guys after the game. Here, just do the banner. We'll be live on Patreon after the game. If you don't want to join the Patreon, we'll be on the podcast apps tonight, sometime early in the morning, and then YouTube 8 a.m. And then O-line report this week, I think, is going to be Wyatt Davis, Gates at center type thing. I don't know. We'll see. Like some mini evals on some players who probably won't even be on the team next year. See ya. Let's go Big Blue.